Good morning, and here we are again. Scenery. I've got a lot of straight edges and boxes that I need to get rid of. And you can use any amount of scrap material for free. So if you've got cardboard boxes, polystyrene, stuff that you've been collecting for months prior to you building one of these things, then you can get on with your scenery and rounding things off really quite cheaply. I've done something slightly different. I've used loft insulation. I had half a roll left over for when I did right under the eaves, and I've been saving it for this occasion. Let me show you round. Well, the first job was to glue cardboard over the tunnel entrances to stop rubbish dropping onto the track. But as you can see, I've stuffed this insulation all over the place. Some of it is just squeezed into place, some of it is actually PVA'd down, and there's plenty of it, which means I can take it away. Especially here. There's too much here. But this will all change shape as soon as I start putting papier-mâché on top. But you get the idea. So that's basically rounded everything off. Some of it, in some areas, there's too much of it. Well, that's very easy. This stuff just tears off. It just teases away. It's very easy to change the shape. Then I've got to cover it. So I'm using the old wallpaper paste and paper. So I'll create a papier-mâché skin to go over this and complete it. I've also got rolls of plaster bandage, £2 a roll from Hobbycraft. I've only got 10 rolls. I'll use it where it's needed. Maybe I've got to buy another 10 rolls, who knows. But I've got some gaps here. Gaps where I want a rock face. Now for rock faces you can use those plaster moulds, create your rock faces, paint them. You can use cork bark sheets. Let's put that down. You get them in a big square sheet and you cut them to whatever shape you want. There isn't any real need to paint them either. They're brown, they're black, they're full of cracks and crevices. If you go to the Forest of Dean, you'll find out there that the stone is brown. So brown works just fine if you're doing a branch line in the Forest of Dean. I'm not going to use either of those things. I bought some terrapin back scenes off Amazon quite cheaply, already painted, and they look like that. So it's black, it's grey, it's white. All I've got to do is cut these to the appropriate height, make strips out of them, and put them where I want them for my rock faces. So how do you cut something like this? Well, it's not a sheet of plastic, it's a sheet of foam. It weighs nothing, so it's just a small matter of measuring off a strip and just running a saw down it. It's basically foam, but it looks good, and I don't have to do any modelling to make it look good, and that's a bonus for me. So let's switch you off, get this cut, get this fitted, and show you the result. So I've measured it all, cut it all. These two I've put to the height of the track, and that leaves a gap down the back, and I'm not too happy with that. Because it's always hard to tell until the edges and everything is hidden away. There's another section here, and I stuck some at the back. I know that kind of like ruins the idea of a canal disappearing into the end of nowhere, but sometimes you've got to make a compromise. I would say it's in place, but it's not in place. Out of 2 sheets I've got that much left over, which is a good 6.5 inches by whatever size that is, 18 inches I think. What I'll do now is I'll walk away for 24 hours, come back, have a second look at it. Especially this bit back here where I've put it so high there's a channel to be filled in. Yeah, I'll have a think about that. Then when I've had a second look and made up my mind, then I'll glue it in place. Oh God, I'm a lot of heartburn today. Wonder what the wife has been feeding me. So that bit's done. As I say, I'll come back in a day, I'll have a second look at it. If I'm still happy, then I'll glue it in place, and then next weekend it's out with the must have tidied it away. I will be out mixing don't you hate getting old? Wallpaper paste and paper and all this fluffy stuff. As I go round, I'll be teasing bits out of it where it's too much, and we'll try and make this round. Then I can paint it all. Then I can come back at this end, because I'm going to work left to right. That's just the way I am. We can start making it go green. We can plan our roads and we can plan our housing. Golf season's coming up very shortly, so this will slow down throughout the summer, unless of course it's like last summer when it just rained all the time, in which case I'll crack on and this will be done in no time at all. Cheerio. So in the end I cut it into 2 different levels. So I've got one level there and a level above it with the track. It never looks good until all the hard edges disappear under greenery. Ta-ra!